not alone in suffering this crime. New research by Watchfinder, who he's working with, shows there has been a 40% increase in watch crime over the last year. And Amir joins us now. Amir, I remember you coming in, actually, when you, with your wife, were still, you could tell, reeling from the experience, reeling from the thoughts and the fears were very present in your mind, and you almost hadn't quite processed it. At that point, nobody had been arrested, nobody been charged. Obviously, justice has moved along since then. When you look back at that moment of being held at gunpoint, what is the emotion that you feel?
Your life just goes right past you. At first, I didn't know what they wanted. It's till when they ran to me, I remember someone pushing me to the car and just put a gun straight to my face and says, he didn't say anything, and I was in shock. I had to look away. I put my head down, and it's only when he said, take off your watch, and that's when I realised that he's come for the watch. And I remember him having the gun on the side of my head. I could feel it. And obviously my wife, I look back, my wife ran back on the middle of the road, which is probably the best thing that ever happened, because imagine she was there, then maybe we would have panicked and, you know, a shot could have been fired. But I'm glad I got out there away from it quite safely.
What time of day was it?
It was around about 8 p.m. It was exactly a year ago. It was the month of Ramadan, and I was fasting. And I remember breaking my fast in a restaurant, walking out, back to the car after having a meal, and that's when it happened. Yeah.
It sounds like a sort of an obvious question, but it's such a, fortunately, rare incident for most of us. What's it like to have a gun literally put against the side of your head? Honestly, life just goes past you. You think about your family, your children, and yeah, it was see, I've never seen a gun in real, and to have a gun put to your head, and I remember looking straight in the barrel when he put it right in front of me. You could see down the barrel. I saw down the barrel, yeah. I looked right through it, and that's when I had to look away, because I said, if he is going to shoot, and I don't know what he wanted at the time, if he is going to shoot, I had to look away. And I think now, especially with watches, there's a lot of robberies happening around the UK. A lot of people coming to get watches, steal watches, because they are valued at huge amounts of money. So it's great with watchfinders and inquirers, what they're doing, because once you register a watch, people know then whose watch it is. You can't resell it, because with watches now, it's becoming a resale where they're making all the money. That's why people are going out there trying to steal watches. So I think it makes it a little bit safer for them.
So your hope is that, in a way, by sort of devaluing the commodity, that there's no resale, then you will deter it. But unfortunately, robbery and crime, as we've sadly seen in all parts of the UK, and threatening violent crime like that, is on the increase. Has it changed your perspective of the country generally when you're out and about?
Look, I'm very picky now where I go. I pick and choose what time I go to places, and make sure that sometimes I take security with me if I go to a very busy place. But it's made it a little bit more difficult now to just travel on my own or with my family to places where I would normally go. Really? Even it's left you scared that it'll happen again? You do feel... yeah, I mean, since it's happened to me, I am a little bit scared now when I go to different places and
people will be watching and thinking, that is the impact of this crime. You're a champion boxer. Yeah. If anybody you would imagine in your head had the ability to mentally deal with that and physically defend themselves,
but you know, the thing is, when you have a family, you have children, you think differently, and you're doing everything for them. So I just want to make sure that I'm going to be safe. I want to see them grow up, and I want to be a role model. How long did the whole episode last for? So, you know, it felt like 10 minutes. A lifetime, yeah. It felt like a lifetime, because... but it probably lasted only about 10, 15 seconds. And what was his tone like with you? I mean... Very aggressive, very strong. Right. You could see that this person has done it before. The way he approached me, pushed me to the car, and he kept, like, a step away, because, obviously, if I'd tried to move the gun, but then I
do you think he knew who you were? Yeah,
100%. Like I said, they did say in court that there was 2 spotters in the restaurant. So even going to places now, eating, wearing something nice, and I'm wearing something nice because I've earned it, and, you know, I like to treat myself. So after every fight, I treat myself with a watch or a piece of jewellery.
So when you said there were 2 spotters in the restaurant, you mean that they were keeping him under observation and then presumably called him up and said, right, he's coming out now?
Exactly. Yeah, and they're the ones who got off. They got off not guilty, but they're the ones who created that whole scene. They set it all up because without them telling them he's going to be leaving the restaurant now, he's had his dinner, there was 2 guys waiting for me.
Mind you, we have to say that they were found not guilty, so we have to recognise that was the verdict of the court on that, so we can't impugn them.
But I mean, the way the police did their job, the flying squad, they did an amazing job. Within 2 weeks, caught the guys. 2 have been found guilty. The gunmen. And
they're awaiting sentence. They're in custody, awaiting sentence.
Correct. Yes. So hopefully we'll find out how.
And you're now living abroad. You don't want to stay here anymore.
It's a lot safer for me at the moment. I think being abroad, living abroad. I still live here. I spend both times. I spend a lot of time here in the UK and Dubai as well. But I just feel a little bit more safer bringing my kids up and taking them out there. I don't have no fear. It did kind of shock me a little bit and kind of put me under a lot of fear. But I feel a lot more comfortable when I'm over there. Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you for coming in and reliving it. Quite something to talk about. I just hope everything starts to fade and settle down in your mind, because you know, you're going to need a bit of time to get over that. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Thank you very much.
It's just gone 8, so we've got the weather now from Alex.